Hello, welcome to Daily News from Marja'iyat TV. Scholarly meetings of His Eminence Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in the holy city of Qom, Iran. On last Monday, the scholarly meetings at the house of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in the holy city of Qom began with a question about the life of the Holy Prophet of Islam. In this question, it was asked, why did the Holy Prophet of Islam cry after the death of some companions? Was the Prophet's crying a proof that he was not patient with God's will? The Grand Ayatollah Shirazi replied, expressing one's emotions and being patient with God's will are two separate things. By nature, God has given human beings emotions and the means to express them. After the death of his son Ibrahim, the Prophet of Islam cried out of grief. He was then asked as to why he was crying. The Prophet replied that his heart is filled with pain and so his tears fall, but he will never say things that would enrage God. Further in this meeting, the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi answered questions about wudu, ghusl, dihadul tarakhos, and etc. Buttercat Foundation holds consultative meeting to expand activities in Holy Karbala and Baghdad in Iraq. Buttercat Foundation, affiliated to the office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, hosted a consultative meeting at its headquarters in Baghdad, the capital of Iraq, to discuss strategies to expand their activities in the cities of Baghdad and Holy Karbala. The participants at this meeting emphasized expanding charitable works and create civil organizations to resolve cultural and social disputes. It is worth noting that Buttercat Foundation has been active in numerous cultural, religious, and humanitarian works since its foundation in 2005. Iraqi cultural and social activists meet with members of Shia Societies Association in Holy Qom, Iran. Two cultural and social activists from the Iraqi capital Baghdad met with some members of the Shia Societies Association in the holy city of Qom in Iran. In this meeting, the messages and instructions of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi were discussed. Misbah Malossein Foundation appreciates large turnout of believers at World Day of al-Baqi rallies. Misbah al-Hussein Foundation for Cultural and Religious Development, affiliated to the office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in the holy city of Karbala, published a statement to thank all people, organizations, institutions, mawakib, Husseinias, and all other parties involved in the commemoration of the World Day of al-Baqi cemetery. Here comes the statement. In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. For over 50 years, the voice of truth has been resonating with condemnation of the demolition of the al-Baqi shrines. Each year, thousands of protesters come together and call for an end to the desecration of the holy sites in the Al-Baqi cemetery. This annual gathering came into being on the orders of the late Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad Shirazi and continued to exist by the efforts of his brother, martyr Ayatollah Sayyid Hassan Shirazi, and it has entered a new stage in our time owing to the outright support of the Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi. The declaration of the World Day of al-Baqi was a step towards the realization of the decades-long ideal to rebuild the shrines of the holy Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them, in the holy city of Medina. The past few years, many cities of Iraq and other Arab countries have also joined the movement to voice their anger over the desecration and destruction of the al-Baqi shrines. May all these efforts lead to the rebuilding of the al-Baqi shrines by the grace of the Almighty God. Misbah al-Hussein Foundation holds weekly meetings with legal advisors in Holy Karbala, Iraq. Misbah al-Hussein Foundation for Relief and Development, affiliated to the office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Holy Karbala, organized a meeting with its legal advisors to discuss the legal requirements for Orphans Protection Charter project. This meeting was presided over by Sheikh Mustafa Mohammadi on last Saturday. The meeting discussed recent amendments and revisions to the legal draft prepared by the Institute's legal team, as well as the database tables prepared by its experts for the large Orphan Protection Charter. Salah Al-Jashami, one of the legal advisors of Misbah al-Hussein Foundation, presented the legal revisions in this meeting.